Hello and peace be upon you. My cat's loving this. It's Saturday, May the 9th. A little chilly outside, and at least in my backyard, there's a lot of owl traffic. I wish I could show it to you, but they seem to be missing just for now. Anyway, as we prepare for worship tomorrow, First Church members are sheltering in place, some of them with their pets. Tomorrow, worship will be conducted on Zoom at 10 a.m. To connect and take part, you either need the Zoom app or a telephone. To participate by phone, call 312-626-6799. This connection is an audio-only connection, but when prompted, after calling 312-626-6799, enter the meeting ID that you see below this video. To join with Zoom, enter bit.ly/JehovahJava, capital J's, Jehovah Java, in a web browser. At 10 o'clock tomorrow, I'll meet you there for worship. Don't worry about getting there early or late. As long as the meeting is running, you can join in. It may be helpful for you to know that at the start, when you sign in, your microphone will be muted. It will stay off until the virtual coffee fellowship begins, but a chat feature allows those who are running the app to be able to greet one another or send group and private messages and to make prayer requests. Families with young children will want to note that Tracy Harris will be leading our Not for Children Only segment on Sunday, and in addition to an interactive portion during the children's time, she will have a special Mother's Day activity for our youngest members, the results of which we will want to see at the end of the worship time. So have the young people stick around as they make their projects. Please plan to tune in. Parents, to see in advance the materials that will be necessary for the project, check the Not for Children Only paragraph in the accompanying text. If you prefer to view the service on Facebook or YouTube, a recording of the service will be available there a couple of hours later. And let me note that the advantage of watching on YouTube is that there are closed captions available if you're having difficulty hearing what's going on. Youth and parents, please remember that Minister Eric Falconer conducts his youth class for grades 6 through 12 on Zoom every Sunday morning at 11. Videos to prepare you are available from our Facebook channel each week, and the link to Zoom is, again, in the text below this announcement. After worship, please take part in our virtual coffee fellowship simply by staying connected. Last week, I got to imagine sharing one of Herb Niemeyer's home-baked cinnamon rolls and a slice of the Perry's angel food cake while actually enjoying my own crust of bread left over from communion. It's quite a lot of fun, even though we can only approximate the refreshments time in Memorial Hall. I hope you'll join us. Speaking of refreshments in Memorial Hall, you're probably wondering when that might happen again. Well, given health precautions, I have to warn you that it's probably not going to seem very soon before we're able to do so. In their meeting on the Zoom platform this past Thursday, the executive ministry decided to extend again the time to return to regular activities for ourselves and the organizations that utilize our building. It was clear to all of us in the meeting that the May 17 return date was just too optimistic, and we certainly will not be able to return to gatherings of more than 10 at a time before the end of the month, and even then it will be with everyone separated by appropriate social distancing and personal protective equipment such as masks and gloves. The executive ministry includes retired epidemiologist Dr. Doug Miller, who observed in the meeting that our rate of infection locally has not decreased at all, and weekly totals are remaining constant, despite the decisions by our governor and county commissioner to initiate a phased return toward business as usual. To consider a return to the building of people in worship numbers, the ministry has concluded that we want to see a decrease in infection for at least 4 weeks. Even then, we'll be taking precautions, less seating capacity, and a reduced schedule. I've advised that the Sunday school ought not to return until Webster schools come back in session. In fact, there are so many considerations. The executive ministry has formed a coronavirus task force, or as we're trying to refer to it, a return committee, who will be assembling a plan for our restoration. Watch for reporting from the task force over the next many weeks. I know that this is challenging news. All of the news lately seems challenging. Quarantine and isolation is difficult, and I've seen and heard about many parents who have just given up on it. They're allowing their children to resume normal playdates and activities with other children, staying away from parks and wider public gatherings, yes, but putting their little ones and themselves at greater risk of infection. And, of course, state and local officials are beginning to lift bans on social and economic activity. My study of our church's bulletins in 1918 and 1919 during the influenza outbreak shows that we kept the rate of infection from influenza very low when we followed health guidelines in October and November in 1918. There were only 3 deaths in the congregation during that time from the flu, but by the spring of 1919, with no restrictions in place, some brave members of the Women's Association were volunteering to provide food and other material assistance to, as they put it, so many who are sick. You'll hear me mention this in tomorrow's message of the day as I consider with you being, as my title puts it, alone together. Meanwhile, church lay leaders, your staff, and I are concerned that we not repeat past mistakes and missteps in addressing the very serious outcomes that could arise if we go back to anything like regular activities at the church before there is a vaccine for this novel coronavirus. Please, stay home and stay safe. And if you do have some need that you yourself cannot answer for yourself because of health concerns, please let me know. There are brave volunteers at the ready now to assist you with shopping or meals. Call the church office at 314-962-0475. I'm at extension 11, and I check my messages regularly, even if I'm not there when you call. There is help for you if you need it. And last of all, as I say each week, at the end of these announcements, please remember that even without people gathering inside its building, the church still operates and needs your support. Members and friends have been keeping up with their pledges, and we've seen some new donors thanks to our greater presence online. So Treasurer Jenny Jones gives us a good report and congratulatory news. Thank you. So, as you find yourself able, and we know that this is not an easy time for some, here's the reminder. You can put a check in the mail or to take advantage of the Breeze networking app. That's if you are able. Those instructions are included below this announcement as well. That's all for this week's announcements. Thanks for giving me a listen. Remember, stay safe, stay home, stay well. Pray. Keep your distance. And peace be upon you.